When you're ready to together we can create something special that will last forever.
Hello, this is Naked at Night with Lance and Rick, where we argue with each other while I pose for Lance and he draws me or paints me. This is me, younger and more virile, several years ago. So we should maybe explain how we each kind of became addicted to politics. And in my case, it was that I wrote for Jimmy Kimmel for well over a decade. So I had to become aware of everything in the news, and a lot of it was politics. And then I got canned by Kimmel, and my outlet for jokes was Twitter. And, Twitter is now considered by liberals a hellscape, but I'm still there. Still compulsively, fighting with people and throwing up tweets and, caught in my addiction. And Lance is a visual artist, which leaves your ears free to listen. So what happens, Lance?
Well, as you said earlier, I became interested in politics when we were attacked on 9/11, and the Democrats didn't want to do anything. They had Al Gore is famous for saying, we need to find out why they hate us. And Bush wanted to bring holy hell on everyone that had anything to do with it. And I thought, you really have to make a decision on which side you support. And so I realized that the Republicans would more likely defend the country. But after that, I found that, yes, it's true that I listened to the news and
you listen to a ton of podcasts.
Yeah, I listened to Steve Bannon, The War Room. I read the Gateway Pundit, and
your head is probably pumped with 50 hours of podcasts a week, right?
Yeah, and what I've determined is that the election was rigged, and Biden is really not the president. This is a regime.
Here's where I do the ring thing where I go.
They're not really interested, and so what happens is, if Trump loses the next election, then the fascism will be firmly ensconced in the country.
All right, so
because if you can rig one election, then that's it. There is no more democracy. He
lost the popular vote by 7 million votes.
We don't have a popular. First of all,
I know we have an electoral college.
First of all, I think he won the popular vote too. I think the Democrats.
3,000 surveys of Americans.
Yeah.
And 99% plus of those surveys show that a solid majority of Americans do not approve of Trump.
Okay, I don't know what you're listening to.
I look at poll aggregators like 538.com.
Okay, Biden is now last week, Biden was the lowest rated president in American history. He was at 37%
on some surveys. Yeah, but on just about every survey, people don't like Trump.
Okay, but the point is that, in my opinion, there was election rigging, and what happened was Trump won the election. I think he won the popular vote, And the Democrats have gradually been able to rig elections around the country.
But all right.
And,
So
and-
when you
and
look,
if
all right,
you see-
as a
if you see-
general
let-
principle,
let me at least support my statement. I'll give you a little factoid, okay? Because people are going to get tired of us just saying, I think and you think. Anybody that watches 2,000 Mules, which is a film,
that's
which don't interrupt me.
garbage.
don't
Okay.
interrupt me. 2,000 Mules is a film by Dinesh D'Souza, and it shows films and various geo-tracking methods where they were able to locate 2,000 or more people going around various states putting in ballots, hundreds and hundreds of ballots in the middle of the night. And they did this in the swing states, and those were the states that caused Trump to lose the election.
So, okay.
Now, that's not the only
But
thing.
hold on, let me talk about geo-tracking, because geo-tracking is only good for about a radius of, I don't know, 20 feet, 30 feet. And it's been thoroughly debunked, the 2,000 Mules thing.
That's your opinion. Do you have any proof?
Yeah, oops, sorry. You look at the reports on what geo-tracking can do, plus common
Yeah,
sense.
20
Like when
feet.
I go to the gym, I pass by our local library, which has a polling drop box. I'm going to ping that thing once or twice a day because I've passed within 30 feet of it. And geo-tracking based on your phone is not accurate down to a radius of 6 feet. It's like 30 feet. And people will ping voting boxes just by going about their business.
Okay.
And that's
So-
basically the argument.
Okay, and the argument that Dinesh D'Souza used is that they limited themselves to people that pinged within 20 feet of a drop box 10 times in one night. And they found 2,000 of them, and it was election night. So let me get this straight. Somebody went to, in fact, they were able to trace their phones, and some of them doubled back. So these people were somehow driving by obscure drop boxes around town all night, box after box after box, getting pinged on election night, and it just so
Right.
happens that massive amounts of loosely investigated mail-in ballots were able to change the election in all 6 swing states.
All right, so I don't just roll my eyes or drop my head back or call you a mofo.
Well, you interrupt a
I
lot,
do that.
because I had more to
And
say.
another thing that you'll get if this show continues, I hope it does, you'll get used to me saying, just frickin' Google it. Or if you don't trust Google, DuckDuckGo it. Because conservatives think Google is just going to give you it's another conspiracy. And actually, with Google, the algorithm is kind of, but anyway, just go on the internet, read about Dinesh D'Souza, read about 2,000, just read about it.
Well, how about if they just see the movie instead of reading about it by communist writers?
I don't know. Then you have to put money in Dinesh D'Souza's pocket, probably.
Well,
It's me again. Speaking of which, I had a question for both of you, which is, I've heard a lot of people talk about the TV industry and the movie industry, and they sometimes point to an old show like X-Files and a newer show like Black Mirror, and they'll be like, hey, all of this stuff that we're going through, all of this stuff that is happening, the Hollywood writers must have ESP or some other ability to see the future, because they're going like, I remember that from X-Files. I remember that from Black Mirror. By the way, there's an episode, Rick, in Black Mirror where they ride a bicycle to get credit, and then you get the credit, and apparently get you all kinds of rewards. So
New episodes of Black Mirror coming next month, a whole new season. Really good show on Netflix.
But how much of this is actual based on fact?
If you look at the history of conspiracy theories, Lance is postulating, along with Dinesh D'Souza. When I picture Dinesh D'Souza, I imagine him in droopy old jockey shorts, walking around his condo, just all worked up. I always picture him in his underwear, just like espousing conspiracy. But anyway, if you look at the history of conspiracies, only about 1% of conspiracy theories turn out to have been true. Of all, if you can figure, prove it one way or the other. The one conspiracy theory in recent history that we know is true is, the CIA did help bring crack to the inner city in the 80s. And that was a ridiculous, it wasn't done very well. And the idea, and you look at Watergate, which was a conspiracy, again, done ineptly. And also completely unnecessarily, Nixon carried 49 states. It was a landslide. He didn't need to do any of the effing with the Democrats that he did. It was so needless, just ridiculous.
There's a lot of needless stuff. Hey, Lance, I had another question that was somewhat unrelated, but y'all mentioned it earlier and everything. I know Rick is worried about ChatGPT because it's definitely going to hurt the writers. I don't see a ChatGPT equivalent for painters because it would be kind of hard to have a robot painter. They might get them out there eventually, but right now ChatGPT is worrying the writers because they can pretty much write the entire script and don't need the writers like Rick. But is there a ChatGPT version of painting, and are you worried about it?
Well, hold on. Let me say one thing, then Lance will answer because it's a question for him. But the art with DALL-E and these other AI, though AI is a misnomer, is even further along than the writing and talking. Computers are pumping out crazy amounts of competent art. But Lance, go ahead.
All right. So the situation is, I get this question a lot. If you're referring to AI creating paintings.
Yes.
Yeah. The truth is that people have forgotten what paintings are. Paintings are not images that you see on your computer screen. So no matter how wonderful the AI is, it's just giving you an image on your computer screen. If computer screens were all we needed, then people wouldn't need to go to Paris to see the Mona Lisa. They wouldn't need to go to Florence to see the David by Michelangelo. Art, I don't want my art to be seen just on computer screens. In order to really appreciate my work, you have to see it in person. Because an oil painting is not a collection of colors shined with a light behind them on a 6 by 10 inch screen. An oil painting, it has textures, it has different translucencies of paint, it has the human eye evaluating what the human eye has seen. In other words, the colors that you see in my studio on my real paintings are not the same as what you see on the computer screen either. And moreover, there's subtleties that the human eye will pick up that the computer can't show you. Finally, there is a certain type of person that will create a handmade oil painting. And that type of person may only want to express their ideas through oil painting. In other words, it may be that an amateur can press 3 buttons and express an idea, but the kind of person that'll spend a year on an oil painting might have different ideas than the kind of person that might press 3 buttons on a computer. And so whenever you're dealing with a physical object, that's why they call it the plastic arts, the arts that are made that you can hold. You're not dealing with AI. It has nothing to do with what I do.
So can I mention 2 threats to you that I see what you think? I think the threats to you have been abstract art and perhaps photography that have kind of put the kibosh on Renaissance style realistic painting, which is what you do.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I've gotten used to the idea that what I'm doing is sort of like Zen archery
Mhm.
or fencing or horsemanship. It's an art form that I think is marvelous, and people don't use it very much. But that's okay. Just because it's not as popular as it was in Renaissance Italy doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it. Uh, to be honest with you, there are a lot of things that are not popular anymore. That, for example, I think the architecture of the 19th, 18th, and 17th centuries is much better than the architecture today. That's why people go to Italy and Spain, and they like some of the parts of Washington D.C. to see the craftsmanship and the aesthetics. So just because something isn't popular doesn't mean it needs to be abandoned. In fact, I would hope that as humanity progresses technologically, we would continue to cherish the crafts and the aesthetics of previous eras. Those things, whatever was at any point in human history high and grand and has stood the test of time, should continue to thrive.
I definitely see that and everything. So when you're done with this picture, you're gonna make Rick over there look like one of those great people like The Rock. So when the picture is done, he's gonna actually be looking like The Rock instead of the image that he has right now because it's not
No,
exactly.
he's pretty realistic. He's going to make me look like a skinny, skinned rabbit of a man.
Well, I think Rick needs to eat more protein and lift
I eat a
heavier weight.
ton. I buy.
Don't move. Don't
Okay,
move.
I buy.
Lower your head.
I take a can of Chunky brand clam chowder, which has like 13 grams of protein, and then I take a full can of tuna and I dump it into the clam chowder, and it's a delicious hearty meal, and it's got, I don't know, close to 50 grams of
All right,
protein.
all right.
It's a ton of protein.
All right.
Wait a minute. You said clam chowder and you said tuna fish, and earlier you said that you were feeling like a cat. So are you trying to come up with a cat-like diet? Because that definitely sounded very cat-like. Those particular dishes.
I've loved that chunky soup plus tuna for 50 years. I've got a scar on my arm from where a chunk of hot tuna exploded as I was taking it out of the microwave and burned me. It's just it's a much more expensive meal than it used to be. A can of chunky soup is like $4 unless you go to the 99-cent
Yeah.
store.
Under Trump, it was like $1.
It's $2 if you go to 99-cent store.
All right. So
Hey, Lance,
yeah.
you said earlier about the election being stolen. Wasn't there another election that was stolen? Because I heard earlier Rick mention this gentleman that also claimed he invented the internet, or at least that's what some people claim he invented. But there are some people that would say that Al Gore had the election stolen as well.
I frankly have come to the conclusion that all of our elections have been rigged since Kennedy was assassinated.
Here's something
He
where
asked me.
okay, but I'm going to say
I'm gonna speak.
it's a rare thing when we can agree about something.
Well, so anyway, Tucker Carlson mentioned something very interesting before he was taken off the air, literally within a month. He said that why isn't the CIA releasing all the records they have of the Kennedy assassination?
Hmm.
It's been 60 years, and they're still hanging on to them. And the funny thing is that people have requested these records. Why does the CIA need to hide records of the assassination of an American president from the American people 60 years after it happened? if there were any methods and spies or whatever whose anonymity could be revealed, they're dead by now.
Okay.
So sources and methods, they call it. There's no reason for it. And I think the United States took a different turn after Kennedy was assassinated.
Well, the U.S. has had a long history of election shenanigans. Rutherford B. Hayes was pretty much appointed president as part of a smoke-filled room deal, right, Lance?
I don't know.
I mean, there have been plenty of hinky elections, and Kennedy Nixon, I think the popular vote differed by a fraction of a percent, and both sides were credibly accused of messing around with, it's elections have been messy in the U.S.
Right.
Well, elections and politics, because they got on Bill because of what he had going on with Monica Lewinsky, but didn't Kennedy have something going on with Marilyn Monroe? And I'm not convinced that some of those other presidents didn't have stuff going on with some of their mistresses as well. But there are some people that would say that Marilyn Monroe was assassinated, and Elvis was assassinated, and Bob Marley was assassinated, and a bunch of other folks were assassinated.
Elvis had prescriptions for 17 different drugs, and Elvis died because he was on so many downers that he couldn't poop, and he had a ball of poop this big that he gave himself a heart attack trying to poop out. If you push too hard when you're bent over like this, there's a thing called the Valsalva maneuver. It killed a character on The Sopranos. If you push too hard like this, you can pinch off your aorta and give yourself a heart attack. And that's apparently what Elvis did. But
that's pretty ironic, since he was a very cool guy.
Yeah, it was sad. I mean, he unnecessary. He's one of those guys surrounded by people who couldn't say no to him. But hold on, what was like? Yeah, Kennedy had a banging room in the White House basement. He had a room where the butler was supposed to sleep that he converted into a room where he would take his girlfriends to bang him. And he was apparently known for being not like an exciting at sex guy, that he was a busy guy. He had a bad back. And so for him, sex was just for him. He'd take you down to the bang room. He'd do his business, and then he'd be like, take a nap if you want. He'd go back upstairs.
No handcuffs and sex toys for Kennedy?
Say again?
No handcuffs and sex toys for Kennedy?
No, just like a little bit of ginger, probably straight up missionary, because that would have been the easiest for him with his bad back, and then 3 minutes and then back upstairs.
Well,
3 minutes.
The deal is, I'm liberal, but if Bill Clinton, I believe that reasonable men at this point in history can do the math and weigh the devastation caused by having an affair versus I'm saying reasonable. There's a cornucopia of porn on the internet with 1 billion images and videos to choose from. And a reasonable person will say, I could have an affair, and in Bill Clinton's case, set up a chain of events that have devastated the nation, or I can just jerk off to porn. And that I'm hoping that coming generations, the Harvey Weinsteins and Bill Cosby's, and I know it's about power. Sexual predation is more about power than sex, but I'm hoping that those kind of creeps become more and more of a rarity, and that reasonable men can just look at naked pictures after the rest of the family goes to sleep, and because the chain of events.
But isn't there a problem with that? Isn't there a problem with that, Rick? Because and actually, I'm surprised that a group of people that Lance earlier said that he is affiliated with haven't attacked this more head on. Because you are right, there is tons of images of pornography. There's tons of images of porn that is on the internet, but unfortunately, a lot of it is child porn. It's very much child oriented, and I'm surprised that the evangelists haven't gone after that as hard as they could.
That kid porn, is going to be a bigger problem with AI, because images of younger models are not illegal, as I think that probably the law is very nebulous, if they're not images of real people. And AI is extremely skilled now at making images of people who don't exist. And that is leading to some very disquieting stuff.
Well, one of the problems, if I may interject, Rick, is that the liberal judges are not putting child porn and child molesters away.
Can we put a pin in that?
They're letting them out a few months later. I mean, rape is practically not even prosecuted these days. So,
all right, hold on, put a pin on it, because we got 3 minutes to go, and we're going to have JD come sing a song.
Our partner is going to sing a song. Please.
Take it away.
Oh, hello. Hello.
Hey.
That's the first time I appear. Oh, am I on TV? Oh, hello, Lance.
Yes, we're waiting for your song.
Thank you. Oh, where did Rick go? I'm so honored to. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't speak very good English, but I just learned how to play guitar, and my friends here invited me. Oh my God, there's an amplifier. Oh, I'm so excited. I just learned how to play guitar, and it goes a little something like this. Rick, can I get a selfie with you before I start?
Sure.
Thank you, Rick. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, this is a song. This is a song that I just wrote. Thank you very much. This next one is the second one. This one I just wrote a little while ago. Ha! Amor, mujer, anda conmigo, mujer, a Los Ángeles. My love, my dear, come with me now, come with me to LA. Porque nadie te quiere como yo a ti, porque nadie te quiere igual. Because nobody loves you like I do, my love. Nobody loves you like me. Ah! Hey! Thank you so much. Bye, everybody. Thank you.
And commercial? Yes.
Yep, time for a commercial break again, so we'll do that right now.
I'd like you to imagine with me, if you will, opening an app where you can collaborate with like-minded individuals from around the world, get inspiration and in-app tools to launch and grow your business, as well as share your knowledge and earn compensation, all in one app. Well, the name of that app is Truso, short for Truly Social. Hi, I'm Matthew Newman, the founder and CEO of Truso. A new concept in social media, Truso is designed from the ground up to be a platform that's both social and empowering for all its users. How exactly do we do that? I'm glad you asked. First, Truso brings the world together via video. Psychologists assert that video provides a significantly more effective connection than audio only. When you enter a community on Truso, you're face to face. Second, on Truso, you don't have to have 1 million followers to monetize. Our business model allows all hosts and moderators to monetize, no matter the size of your following, by one, producing fee-based content, and two, inviting others to join the platform as subscribers. Even more, Truso has an in-app resource library with over 100 free resources, forms, and documents to help you build your brand and grow your business. Third, Truso is inclusive. The deaf and hard of hearing communities make up 360 million people worldwide. Unlike audio-only apps, Truso embraces this community, providing a networking platform that allows them to participate via video and closed captioning. We even have a deaf and hard of hearing foundation in the works as well. Fourth, Truso is both social and safe. We refer to Truso as a virtual extension of the beauty shop, barbershop, and brainchild of the community. A place where there's laughter, along with wisdom, growth-oriented conversation, and genuine connections in a safe space. Truso even has proprietary security to ensure we maintain a safe environment for everyone. Where are we at now? Truso is live, y'all. We've launched in beta and we're acquiring users daily. We have an incredible development and marketing team, plus amazing celebrity influencers at the table, helping us spread the word around the globe, beginning within the African diaspora and beyond by creating a safe space for growth, connection, and collaboration. We're truly excited about Truso. We've created something special for which there is a global market. And we invite you to embark on this journey with us as a shareholder. The future for Truso is truly bright. Join us and let's go there together.
No importa dónde vivas. La vida del océano depende de ti. Haz tu parte para mantenerlo limpio. Recicla y desecha tu basura de forma adecuada. Averigua lo que puedes hacer. Visita keepoceansclean.org.
Hay algo especial acerca de este lugar. Se siente como un hogar, una sala debajo del cielo y los árboles, rodeado de aire fresco y la naturaleza. Todo aquí para que lo disfrutemos y para que lo cuidemos. Tenemos la responsabilidad de cuidar de esta tierra que llamamos casa, de preservarla para las generaciones que vienen. Cada acción pequeña contribuye para un cambio mayor y cada uno de nosotros podemos hacer la diferencia. Hay algo especial acerca de este bosque. Es un lugar donde se hacen recuerdos y juntos podemos preservarla y protegerla.
What has time told you about the power of friendship in your life? Hi, I'm Trevi A. McDonald, author of the novel Time Will Tell, a coming-of-age story about the power of friendship in the lives of 3 Chicago women who are attending their 10-year high school reunion, and the sequel, Roundabout Midnight, a story about resolving issues, healing hurts, and celebrating Black love. You can find out more about my books at my website, www.drtrevi.com. Thank you.